Good morning. Welcome to the Bond Sunday morning services. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I absolutely appreciate it. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You out there in TV land can get involved with this morning's service by going to my website, by emailing us at bondinfo.org, church@bondinfo.org, church@bondinfo.org. And you can also call us at 1-800-411-BOND, 1-800-411-2663. And we'll answer your questions or comments during the meeting. All right, so get involved. church@bondinfo.org. Put your name in town on your emails. Also call, or you can call 1-800-411-2663. All right, and good morning to everybody here. Good morning. I do have a topic I want to deal with, but we were about to get into a discussion about the prayer, be still, be still and know God. I have a prayer meditation that says that, when you pray, just be quiet. You don't have to do anything, and God will change your life. He will cause your life to change. And I would like to find out before we get rolling into my topic, if we get into it. My topic is not that important. Do you guys have any questions about, and I know you do, about the prayer, about the meditation? I want to give you a chance to ask those questions before we get rolling. Because if I'm not helping you, then it's a waste of time to just come and preach at you. I really want to know and make sure that I'm doing my part. So you were asking questions about the meditation before we started here. And what's your questions again? Your question.
Well, one of them is being still. Okay, I practice the meditation 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
And I'm not sure if there's a change or what's happening or what I'm supposed to be looking for or what I'm supposed to be doing. And then the other thing is, in your meditation you say you're supposed to see your thoughts.
Right.
I haven't gotten there yet. I can't see them, I think them. And the other thing is you're saying see your thoughts, don't get caught up in your thoughts, but there was something that I was saying, I can't do this and that at the same time. And
You can't do what at the same time?
See your thoughts, don't get caught up in your thoughts, and clear your mind or something. There's something in the meditation that you were saying, and every time I get to that point, it's like, okay, if I do that, it's like I don't have enough brain power to do all of that.
All right. You're right. Your brains are going to explode if you try to do any of that.
Yeah, and then you say, don't pay any attention to any of this. Let all of this go. And I'm thinking, God help me.
That's good. Okay. You have some issue with it too?
No, I
With
don't
the prayer?
I have a question. That would be, what is seeing your thoughts like? What are you? All I see is sort of, faint, sort of lights, sort of just like a cloud of lights. Like very subtle, but not like, I could see those lights if I look at that outside there and I close my eyes. I'm like, okay, is that the light sometimes?
Right.
But then at night though, when I haven't had the lights on, or if I get up and meditate and it's been dark, I see those too. So I see it. But it reminds me of a light that's left over from, it's imprinted from regular light.
Okay. Anybody else have questions about the prayer? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't see no thoughts, but my thoughts cross my mind.
I don't see no thoughts,
I
but my thoughts cross my mind. How do you know that they cross your mind?
Because I could see them.
Well, I thought you said you couldn't see them.
I couldn't see them with my eyes, but I think them. I'm thinking them.
Right. And you're seeing what you're thinking.
Well, that's what I think it is that if you have a thought that you're seeing them, right?
Right. You are seeing what, but that's the whole purpose. And to answer your question too, you are seeing what you're thinking.
Right.
And that's what you want to do. You want to see what you're thinking, because if you can see what you're thinking, then you're no longer a part of what you're thinking.
When you say see what you're thinking, what do you mean?
Let's say you're sitting there, you're praying, and you're thinking about ice cream. And you can see that you're thinking about ice cream.
So you know that you're thinking about ice cream. You're thinking about ice cream. Is that what I'm trying to?
Yeah, I guess you could use the word, I know I'm thinking, but the reason you know you're thinking it because you're seeing that you're thinking it.
You're aware that you're thinking.
Yes.
You say see, you're aware that you're
Right.
thinking.
Yes, ma'am. And that's what you want to do. You want to become aware of what you're thinking. Because if you're not aware of what you're thinking, you're one with it, and you're being deceived. You start to believe that you're your thoughts. They guide you in the wrong direction. They make you go up and down in emotions. They deceive you. But if you can clearly become aware of what you're thinking, then you're no longer part of it, because it is God who allows you to see or be aware of what you're thinking, and allows you to know that you're not your thoughts.
How do you not be aware of what you're thinking?
I'm sorry?
How are you not aware of what you're thinking?
Most people are
If you're
not.
thinking it, how are you not aware of it?
How are you? That's a very good question. How are you not aware of what you're thinking? That's a very good question. And I think a lot of people are caught up with that. You are?
Well, if you're not aware what you're thinking, then what?
How are you not aware of what you're thinking?
When you're in it,
She's
you're not
implying
aware.
that most people are aware of what they're thinking.
No, it's the opposite, I think.
You think?
You're in it totally. You're not aware. You're so in it, you're not aware.
In
So
what?
in the
Yeah.
thought,
In your thoughts.
Yeah, the thought is running
it's
you.
writing you down.
It's a very good question, though. I really appreciate it. Yes, Stephanie?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, if you're aware of what you're thinking, then you wouldn't be thinking it.
Right.
You wouldn't be in your thoughts. Because a lot of times you'd be thinking about something, like I do, I'd be thinking about something, then I realize, what am I thinking that for? And that's
Yeah.
when you're aware of it,
But see,
but I wasn't before.
the thoughts that I have, I mean, and I've tried to think of this, you know, to try to help myself not think of it, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Why shouldn't I be thinking it? For instance, one evening I was thinking, oh, I didn't call my dad this evening, you know, so, or remember to do that. Another time I turn off the stove, you know, planning my day. I'm missing something.
Right.
Because I'm thinking of things that I need to do or that I did.
But did you think about that I have not called my dad, or did you all of a sudden become aware that you had not called him? And once you realized it, did that pass by? Did you move on to something else?
No, I got
In your
called.
thinking. Right, but it wasn't something you had to think on, right? You just became aware that you,
Became aware of it.
That
I
you-
had spent the day and now it was, you
Yeah.
know, the end of the day and I still hadn't called him.
right. It wasn't something you had thought about all day long, right? It just all of a sudden at that moment you realized you had not called your dad.
Right.
That's the difference between thinking on it. If you had been thinking on it, it would have driven you all day long.
Okay.
But we want to work it out because you're asking a very good question. Fabian and then Martin want to respond. Yes, sir.
What I noticed is when we get, at times when we get those little insights of what we need to do, it's just real simple, it's not a thought like you're saying. And then the thoughts can come in and kick in our head and say it to us and try to kind of make it think like it's gave us that insight. So I mean, but there's
Give me an example of what you mean.
like for instance, she saw that she needed to call her dad, so she just sees that. It's not even a thought in her head. Then the thoughts can come, oh, like you're talking to yourself, oh, I need to call my dad, you know? And it's like the process of thoughts is always trying to pull you in to take you away from the simplicity of really how to live. It's like, it's always trying to substitute, you know? Maybe not always, but that often does that. Like I could be at the supermarket, you know what you need to get, and it'll say to you, it's like you're saying to yourself, oh, I need to get orange juice, I need to get this, but you already know that. It's like it tends to try to substitute the insight.
Okay. Let me go to this captain over here, then we come back on this side. Yes, sir.
No, actually, what I had to say was superseded by what you said. I get confused sometimes too about my insights and my thoughts,
Oh,
which is
okay.
which. And because the thought will come right in afterwards and start to talk to me about it. And then I wind up not even doing the insight. So that's a
This is good.
frustrating little trick.
So you can't tell the difference either.
I get an insight, and I think this has happened too often to me. I get an insight, and then I wind up not doing it for whatever reason.
You can't get an insight and not, well, I guess you can.
It
If you're
seems
on
like
your
I
way
can.
to Damascus, you can get an insight and not do it.
Yeah.
But if you're already there, you can't get an insight and not do it. So,
Or I
okay,
can be aware of a thought, and still that thought will overtake me.
really?
Yeah.
Well, naturally a thought will, no, you're not aware of it then if it's overtaking you. You're one with it.
I realize I'm being overtaken. I know
But,
the assault
but the reason
is
it
on.
has to, the
I'm
reason,
going with it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say I'm going with it. I see I'm going with it.
Right. But the reason it has the power to make you do it is because you're one with it. You're not aware of it.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
one
that
with
was the
it.
thing I was going to say. When you agree with your thought, you're probably in it. Because when I
Yes,
start to
sir.
agree with these thoughts, then I'm in it, and I'm going to do it.
Right, because you're with it.
Right.
When you're one with it, you can't help but agree with it. It now controls you. But when you are aware of it, it doesn't control you.
So you're
Because
saying
you
there's
have not agreed.
So you're saying there's something that happens before you even agree with it. You're into it already.
Yes.
And that's what causes you to agree.
Right, and
Okay.
you don't know that you're into it. You
I had the
just-
cart before the horse.
Right. But, John, yes.
I was working on a project at work, and I had to pick out some tablets, so looking back at it, I kind of told myself, I'm gonna get this done in 15 minutes. So I had to go across the bridge, and there was this girl that had to get the forklift and get these tablets down,
Yeah,
and she ended up taking 20 minutes, a half an hour.
Yeah.
Must have got frustrated.
frustrated set in.
I should have been finished with this project already, so I had to open up a bag to get these tablets with a razor blade, and I was thinking, okay, you gotta hurry up and get this done so you get back over so you can have the project completed. So I was trying to cut the bag, and I ended up cutting my hand, and I got 3 stitches. And
Yeah.
so I must have been so deep into my thoughts that I was unaware, and I cut my hand.
Yeah.
I cut my hand, and I knew afterwards that, okay, you was unaware, you was in your thoughts.
The moment you said, I'm gonna do this job in 15
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
you set yourself up to fail.
Yeah, I didn't see that part.
Because you don't know what the next moment's gonna bring.
Uh-huh.
I had a guy was telling me the other day that he was on his way home from work, and his wife normally say certain things to him and require certain things of him. And so on his way there, he had said to himself, I'm not gonna do it this time. And he get there, and the wife personality had changed, but she said something that looked like what she normally would do. And because he had already made up his mind, he got angry just like that at her. And she wondered, why are you getting mad? But he had already set it up that he was going to react a certain kind of way. And it wasn't the same situation when he got home this one time. You shouldn't set yourself up like that. But when you live in your thoughts,
And I was making that decision.
yeah,
And. 'cause
you should never ever make a decision. You should always wait and see. Because things are not always the same. And if they're not that setup that you think, then you're going to overreact to that. And that's why you end up cutting your hand, because you became frustrated. Your 15 minutes was running out. This lady was to blame. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? That's what thoughts would do to you.
Oh, Jesse.
Yes.
But I notice a lot of times on real simple stuff, sometimes I can see the thoughts and I still follow them. Just simple, so going to the refrigerator, okay, let's just go for a little drive, and they're just pulling me all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm kind of helpless to just stop and not do what my mind has told me to do.
Yeah, I was driving on the freeway yesterday and lots of traffic, and all of a sudden I realized, wow, we are really not in control of our lives. We have no control of our life. You know, God has blessed me to make it from one destination to another without an accident. You know, you see other people on the freeway, and so what is that is preventing me from somebody hitting me or me hitting someone? I have no control. I'm just in an automobile, and anything can happen, and I'm not in control of that. And that's how it is with my entire life. I have no control of my life. The things I've done, I had to do, whether they were bad or good. I had no control of my life. And it's to see that is almost a helpless feeling, to really see that you have no control of your life. And you kind of have to be ready to really see that, because it's hard for the ego to believe it has nothing to rely on, meaning that it's not in control of anything. Because you want to feel like you're in control. That's what the fight is all about. The fight is about having control of your life. I'm in charge. Nobody's going to make me do anything I don't want to do. I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to take this type of job. I'm going to make this happen. The ego is all about making itself believe that it has control of your life. But when you can let yourself truly see and feel that sense of nothingness to hold on to, it's amazing. You're on your way there. But you're constantly fighting to hold on to something because you don't want to accept the ego playing God. Can't accept it, doesn't. You're really not in control. Just think about how screwed up your life is. If you were in control, you wouldn't be like that. You wouldn't be afraid of things. You wouldn't be, you wouldn't be poor. You'd be rich. You would be beautiful or handsome. You have everything. You're not in control. You wouldn't be afraid of anything. You're really not. Your kids wouldn't be messed up if you were truly in control. You wouldn't think the way you think. You know what I mean? We're really not in control. And it's hard for the ego to truly see that. Yes, sir. You had your hand, yes.
It's past.
It's past, okay. Do you see now you're not the only one with this thought issue, with the meditation and all? Yeah, you thought you were the only one? You were the only one?
No, I figured I wasn't.
Yeah.
Partly, I think that their thoughts, like I said, are they all from the devil? I'm not convinced. I think you have some thoughts that are just from your programming, but your programming of your life, and some thoughts are from the devil.
Okay.
But you also are programmed. You have a nature that you've learned since you're a little tiny kid. Things that are important to you, things you're afraid of, things you are going to think about and things you are not going to think about. A tilt to think things that aren't true, a tilt to think this, a tilt to think that.
Okay.
Some of it is just that, programming.
All right, and you sure about that?
I think that. I'm not.
You think that, you're not sure.
That's what I think is true.
And maybe you agree with her, why?
Because I do see, I believe, I had that, I had that come to me the other week, that original sin was the knowledge of good and evil, and what is knowledge of...
You had that to come to you?
Yeah.
From where?
From insight.
From where?
From insight.
It came to you and said, what now?
Well, it didn't say it, I just saw this, that the knowledge of good and evil, I mean, what is that? That's what she was saying. It's thoughts. It's the knowledge of good and evil. It's the opposite of insight. It's the substitute of insight. And that's the, and I agree with Martin, it's like, it's just there, it's coming from hell, and it masquerades in different ways. It masquerades as the truth.
It's come from hell. Where's hell? Uh-huh. It didn't tell you that, huh? See what I did?
Well, hell... Well, I believe there's an actual place, hell, but hell is transmitted through our brains. I mean, it has access to our brains.
So it told you that hell was transmitted through your brain?
It didn't tell me. No, it didn't tell me. I see that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You say you know where hell is.
Yeah, he lived right in here. Right in there.
All right.
Right between those ears.
Patty, you agree with her as well. Why? About where thoughts come from.
I don't know exactly where thoughts come from. I just agree that the part I heard about, there's a reality of what is, and then there's this other thing that's inside of us, which is made up of thoughts and words, and actually there's a whole world put together with words. And it's just, I can see inside myself words kind of going along with words instead of actually seeing a reality.
So you didn't agree with her, or you raised your
No,
hand?
I heard her speak on that, and I agreed with that. I'm saying that one portion. As far as where they come from and all that,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've read books about where things come from, but I have no direct knowledge of where these things are coming from. I do want to respond also to what he said about how some of the thoughts and things that we deal with are based on our upbringing and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely believe that's true, because why is it then that you'd have like communists and people like that will take a group of soldiers or something and brainwash them, let's say. If you could brainwash somebody from another person, that means you can take somebody's experiences and things and their fears and all those things, and you can kind of mold a certain person. And that's being done by another group of human beings.
Right.
Now, maybe you can say, well, that group of human beings is being directed by some other source. Maybe so, but the point is, human beings can direct other human beings into certain thought patterns and things. So I tend to agree with what he's saying.
You know what I really appreciate about these meetings, and not just these, but every time I speak somewhere, I realize how dumb we really are. It's amazing how dumb we are. And I'm not calling you dumb, Pat. I'm talking about all of us.
It seems like I just spoke. And
I know. But I was thinking it when Faber said it. I was also realizing it when Martin said something. And so realizing, wow, we are dumb. But we'll handle the dumb stuff in a minute. Yes, ma'am.
You'll set it straight. But anyway, I realize, thoughts they can really limit you, because you see what you should do and you know what you should do, but you'll let a thought come in and just change your whole.
Yeah. The things I want to do, I can't.
Yes.
The things I don't want to do, I find myself doing.
Thinking, I need to do, you need to do something. You get up,
Yeah.
and then you just don't. It debilitates you. Actually, you don't do anything.
You go through the whole week thinking about what you
Agitate.
didn't say at the meeting on Sunday at Christmas time. At Easter time.
No, but just little things that you should do during the day that you get up and you should go and do, but you start doing something else and then you don't.
You don't do what you should be doing.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But do you know where thoughts come from? That is the question.
They must come from hell, because they do torment you. Because you know what you should do and then you don't.
But
And
good
the
thoughts,
is just like,
quote unquote, good thoughts don't torment you. They don't.
well, they torment you in a way, because if you're shouldn't be acting by thought.
That's a real
you should
good
be
question
acting
that I just.
through.
Those good thoughts, are they coming out of hell too?
They do torment you too.
The good thoughts?
Yeah, because they torment you by trying to make you guilty.
No, but when they're feeling good, when you.
Oh, those kind of good thoughts. I thought you meant thoughts to do good.
When you get a good thought right away, you want to go and have some whatever. That's not tormenting you.
Oh, I thought you meant thoughts.
Is that out of hell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you're just guessing now because she said
No, I'm
yeah.
not. No. I thought you meant when you said good thoughts, thoughts that tell you that you did wrong.
That's not a good thought.
When you followed a thought and done wrong, and you have these thoughts that tell you did wrong.
That's not a good thought. That thought is coming to torment you.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's not a good thought.
Even those, well,
Yeah.
Torment.
it is a thought that tells you that you didn't do good, that you did evil.
But that's not a good thought.
Oh, you're just messing with words now. It is. It poses as your.
So you think that when you do something wrong and you walk away and the thought comes and say you did wrong, you think that's a good thought?
No, I'm not saying it's a good thought. I'm saying, well, yeah, I'm saying that it poses as a thought that's trying to get you to do good, by telling you that you just did wrong. But it's the
No,
same.
it doesn't. It doesn't pose as a thought that trying to do good. It poses as a thought that want to bring guilt on what you just did.
Right.
And that's not good.
Well, guilt is the first step toward doing right.
Not that kind of guilt.
I know that is true.
That type of guilt will make you go and jump off the freeway.
Right.
There's a righteous guilt and a wrong guilt, and that's a wrong guilt. And that's interesting too. Anyway, the thoughts of ice cream, is that a good thought?
No.
Whatever your trauma is. Yes, ma'am.
Surprisingly enough, I don't agree with him, but I understand.
Yeah, I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
too.
what he's saying, that just the fact that something came and told him what he did was wrong, he's looking at that as a good thought because he can change and not do that again.
Right. But,
Not from that way, though.
yeah.
That's the devil telling him, you're guilty, and he's gonna, like you said, he's gonna
Well,
probably jump
I'm
in front of
thinking
a
being
train.
aware, then that's your opportunity to change once you're aware of something.
But that's not going to come with a thought.
Oh.
Because good thoughts, quote unquote, also come and tell you when you've done good. And now your ego is puffed up about it. Like, oh, you gave that bomb on the freeway $1. Now you feel all good driving down the freeway. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not a good thought, but appear as a good thought. Isn't that a good example?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That is what I would also label a good thought, one that tries to get you to be guilty for what you did wrong. Just like the one that says, you did good. There's thoughts that tell you, oh, you did good, and then you get excited about that. Those are also good thoughts.
Oh, okay.
They act like they're on the side of good.
This is so interesting to me. I am loving this. See, if I didn't allow you to ask questions and make comments, I wouldn't know what you don't know. I wouldn't know how screwed up you really are. Did you say you agree with her or no?
Yeah, I didn't say one way or the other.
Did you agree or disagree?
Well, I didn't really.
Where thoughts
I
come
started
from?
listening to what
Oh, you said your mind drifted away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I
The
forgot.
devil led me away from that one.
I want to answer some of these too once we get them out a little bit. I'm making a little note so I don't forget. Yes, ma'am.
I think in the past I've heard you say that all thoughts are evil.
I have said that, but
You
some
said
reason
that.
nobody believing in me.
Yeah, because I asked you one time, I was thinking about my grandchild, and just an innocent sort of thought was how cute she was, or something like that. And you said it's all evil. And I wrestle with that because I don't know, I don't see how that's evil. Because,
Well, that's the whole story to what you said?
yeah,
You said it just like that?
yeah.
Okay.
because,
I don't remember it, but
wasn't-
I want to respond to that.
It wasn't like I'm thinking, she's so cute and sweet because, like I have some part in it. I'm the grandmother.
You didn't feel any connection to it?
What's that?
You didn't feel any connection to
No,
it? Okay.
no, it was just innocently thinking,
Well, I don't remember what I said about it then, but I have an answer for you now.
okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
I don't think that we should go through our life worried about those evil thoughts. If you say something like that, I wouldn't let it be a big deal. I wouldn't even put that name on it, to be honest with you, because it's just a thought. It's not like you came up with the thought. If she is cute, she's cute. Oh, that's part of life. It might be more of a reality than an evil thought. So I wouldn't.
Wow.
Maybe they do all come from hell, but I wouldn't go around worried about it like that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I had some of the similar questions. I heard you say all thoughts are evil. And so when I have the, and then when Sherry asked her question about going in the back, then it dawned on me, because I, think about what I'm gonna have for dinner, for instance. And I think, okay, I thought about that. Is that evil? Should I not eat? Should I just go meditate and let it pass? No.
Oh, that's a good question.
Technique.
This is good. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me tell you, this young man, he's been waiting a long time.
No, this morning, I went to the gym. On the way there, before I got there, I was full of these thoughts, which were telling me, it's Sunday, it's a nice day, don't go, you're tired, you didn't sleep enough, you did this, you did that. Full of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm packing the gym bag, and I'm going, and I'm watching my head spin all this stuff up. Halfway through the session, I'm enjoying it. I'm breaking a sweat, things are good, and what a great guy I am. Another thought.
Uh-huh.
And is that a good thought? I felt good, made me feel good, must be a good thought, I must be good. That's also baloney.
Yes, sir.
And so you used a phrase once, I love this phrase, go on about your business, right? And just go on about going to the gym.
Yeah.
Let it take care of itself.
Yeah.
Without you adding frosting and candles to the cake. And then I had another thing that's very interesting, another example from work. I have a client that's extremely difficult personality. And all my thoughts are about how evil this person is and all that. When I dropped those, I began to understand this person, very powerful individual, this person's particular genius in working the organization they belong to.
Right.
And I suddenly began to understand what they do without saying, it's because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that.
Yes.
I had thoughts, but it was more awareness replaced some of them. And then I was able to, then I stopped thinking, I just kind of just sat there and go, huh. And then stuff happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works.
So are you able to tell us where thoughts come from?
Yeah, they're all baloney.
They come from baloney?
There isn't a thought out there that's a good thought.
Right, but where do they come from?
They come from evil.
They come from
They
evil.
are evil,
Uh-huh.
that's what they are. Now, dealing with them properly is what you figure out, eventually you learn how to do.
Yeah.
But that's all, I don't know what else to say.
Yes, sir.
Last week you had said, realize that you're wrong. And I noticed that I have a bad habit of going to the refrigerator snacking. And when I realized that I was doing this because of my ego and that it was wrong, but I couldn't help myself, and I still constantly, it was like no thought. We were talking about thoughts right now. It was just automatic.
Yeah.
Just go get something, snack on it, and and afterwards I would kind of, oh man, look at this. Seems so. I'm starting to realize a little bit that almost everything I do is to feed my ego.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. But right now I can't help myself. I just go
Right.
and open the refrigerator up and eat.
You can also lie to yourself and say, well, I'll just work it off at the gym tomorrow. I used to have that. I'll go and eat, and I know I shouldn't be doing it. But then the thought comes and say, well, you can work it off at the gym tomorrow. And I accept that, oh yeah, I'll work it out. And then I work really hard thinking that I worked it off.
Yeah.
It's a whole setup,
Yeah.
another setup.
It's just a habit. And I really don't need to snack or
Yeah.
eat, but I'm just doing it because it's a habit I've been doing. And so that's
Yes.
Yeah, last week you mentioned that when I asked about ego, you were saying that, when I turn on the television or when I graze, eat something like he does. And so this week I realized that, okay, that's ego. I need to just ride it through. And I did not snack. The television was on only when there was a program I wanted to see and then off. Yeah. And I did feel calmer. And it wasn't a struggle. Now I know next week's going to be a struggle perhaps. This week let me, tricked me in it. But it was my ego. I mean, I was popping,
most of the time the ego is eating. Most of the time, the ego is eating when it's not hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well,
Most of the time when we eat, we're not hungry.
But it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good.
It tastes good.
It doesn't want you to see that you are a liar
Yeah.
and that you are not in control of your life. It doesn't want you to remember that. So it feeds you something to make you stay in denial that you're really not in control of your life. Because you're right, when you eat, you feel good. You feel like you're in control.
And I
When-
can see it when I go to a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Shouldn't eat it, but.
Yeah, you're not hungry at all.
Done. And then I just eat it, I don't know, can't stop.
You go into the refrigerator seeing that you're not hungry, but you go and eat it anyway. Yeah. It's probably best that you do too. It's best to see it and not fight against it, but go and eat anyway. Because if you fight against it, you're going to give it life. You're going to give it more power or authority over you.
But then the thoughts come in, oh, you're getting fatter.
Yeah, that's right. That's the guilt one.
Yeah, and then told me today, I haven't been here. I haven't been here for a while.
Yeah,
And so I've been seeing your program in the computer.
yeah,
And then it started telling me, don't go.
yeah.
Too old, that's too far. You don't have to go.
Yeah.
And I keep just looking at it. It just got in the car and drove over here because it was telling me, go to your sister. So go, such a beautiful day.
You can watch it later on the internet. It
Yeah.
tells you that. It's amazing, huh? Do you know where the thoughts come from? You're a good Catholic.
Well, I want to say early on, because I was in school all the time, they kept us, they used what do you call it? A stimulant. They stimulate you psychologically to get involved in something. Once you realize you can be there, and all they're going to do is talk to you about what they want to continue, or how they want to progress from 9th grade to 12th grade, or
Yeah.
from 1st grade to 8th grade,
They set you up to keep you thinking.
and you keep getting stimulated by this same organization.
That is so true.
And you know, of course, if you've not been to Catholic school, you've never heard the Our Father, so you hear that. That is the basis of why they continue the way they do.
Yeah. Wow. Very good point.
It's a heavenly call, is what they want to say. You know, that's what they want to do, but how do we get there? You know?
That's right. Good question. Yes, James, you had your hand about a year ago.
Yeah.
Didn't you have your hand? And I didn't get back to you? Do you know where thoughts come from?
No, I don't know.
Have you ever wondered where do they come from?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. But you don't know?
No.
All right. Patrick, did you have your hand again?
Well, I do want to say I didn't, as far as knowing where they come from, it has to be evil, because the purpose of the thoughts, even the good ones, they pull you away from the peace that you have naturally. Because like she talked earlier about prayer and what's the point of it. If you really see, if you read the scriptures too, they talk about these goals are peace. You've talked about it here at church before. And if you look at it in that kind of light, you can see everything that pulls you away from peace. So that good thoughts, good feelings.
They are evil, but where do they come from?
What's that?
They are evil thoughts, but where do they come from?
What do you mean, where do they, if it's evil?
The question is, where do thoughts come from?
I don't understand the point. If you're saying if you already admit that they're evil, they're coming from an evil place.
Where's that evil place?
You mean physically? Well, let me put it this way. When God first had a relationship with Adam, people on earth, there's a direct relationship, right?
Right.
And at some point, that was messed up and turned around and became not direct anymore. So you went from there is an origin to it if you want to look historically, and that is the direct relationship in the beginning, turned around from the fall of man into a indirect, messed up, word-based, thought-based relationship.
So she's right what she said? You still agree?
Yes.
Okay, so you do agree then?
Yeah, now that I remember that she's talked about the origin, yeah.
Right, okay, you agree. Yes, sir. You had your hand again, right?
But even when she said the origin, all she said was that it was a curse.
No, she explained the
didn't
Adam
say
and Eve
where
thing.
it came from.
No, she did. She explained that. Oh,
She
okay.
said Adam and Eve, she said the curse, but she didn't say where this curse came from or where this came from.
But
That's
you
why.
agreed with her partly, and then you
I
added
agree with her
your.
all the way, I just
Oh.
said she didn't go far enough.
Oh, I see. And you added to it.
Yeah.
And you still believe what you said.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, but I wanted to ask a question. What did this gentleman over here say? Because I was listening, I wasn't off in his face, but I just, and you were saying that's a great point, and I just like, what did he say?
I forgot his point already.
Something about, you asked him about Catholic school.
Stimulating.
Oh, they
He said
stimulate you.
stimulating.
Yeah, they set you up. They say, well, we're preparing you to graduate, right?
Right.
So they start you out in the first grade or whatever, and then they set you up for the second. So you're constantly thinking, because now you're thinking into the future, you're preparing for tomorrow. And that's a setup. They're stimulating you to think by setting up a future for you. And now you're trying to reach those goals.
Okay.
And that's why people stress out in school, because now they have a goal they have to reach, and then you have to reach it with an A in order to be good at reaching it. You got to reach it with a B, and if you reach it with an F, you're a failure, and that can stress you out too. Have you noticed that?
But you don't want
The
to,
F person is no good.
but they are no good. You don't want to build a car that has an F.
Not necessarily, Mark.
How many people think that the F person is no good?
In school?
Yeah.
Wait, there's no good, what do you mean no good?
It's
Herman's
worthless.
raising his hand. What do you mean no good?
It's worthless. You're not, try to build a car that has a grade F and try to sell that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the difference.
What's the difference?
I knew a guy who didn't even graduate, left school at the 10th grade. He went on to build a business, became a millionaire. And his mind wasn't in school. His mind was in doing what he wanted. He didn't like being pushed around, told what to do at school. His mind was in doing what he wanted to do. And he was successful in the end.
But my point is excellence. If you teach someone, because
What made you think an A is excellent?
Hmm?
Why do you think an A is excellent?
Because you are working and studying to,
So then why do they end up in mental institutions once they achieve the A?
because they don't have any balance.
Oh.
They don't have any balance with that study. But
You
there-
say
there
that's
is
not
a-
all true? But they should be in mental institutions if they're not ended up in there yet because they're crazy as a donut.
A lot of F's are in middle.
A donut, huh?
A lot of F's are there too.
I'm sorry?
A lot of F's are there too.
That's right.
You know why? Because the F felt guilty about not getting the A and went insane.
That's true. His drone has been saying for getting that.
That's right.
The-
You're a bad person.
Yeah, the
You got an F.
The person that gets the A is not always the smartest person. He may know how to take a real good test, but that
Right.
will make him be able to function
Yeah.
and have common sense when he gets out there in life anyway.
All right, let's throw out the test.
Hermes, where do your thoughts come from?
I agree with what Sherry's saying. I think it's
Oh,
like a spiritual curse, comes from sin.
You agree with it? It made a whole lot of sense to
Makes
you?
sense to me.
It just totally makes sense?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. Dear Lord, you didn't have any input on this one yet. Do you know where thoughts come from? Do you agree with what Sherry said?
I agree with what Sherry said.
You agree that they come from this original thing?
The thoughts originating from
Okay.
the serpent.
All right. Yes, Hermes.
So, 'cause it just seems like it's, I mean, I've thought about this before, and it's like, you can't really, it's just a hard thing to grasp, because it's like an endless stream.
You can't grasp where they're coming from.
You can't grasp it, and it's very
That's a very good
intuitive,
point.
and it seems intelligent and very, I mean, it's just a very, it seems to play on whatever your, insecurities are, or fears. It's very like it's an intelligent thing that just knows how to push all your buttons. And
But you still get thoughts even when you're not a man or woman of fear.
what's that?
You still
Yeah,
get
that's why
them.
I agree with what Sherry was saying.
That's why you agree with her? Oh, okay. And do you agree with that as well?
I raised my hand because I wasn't even sure.
Uh,
I was a little bit lost too, but then I came back to it,
So-
back to the present.
So you don't know where they come from?
Evil, and then the final conclusion would be Satan, because he would be the author of evil.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that they come from evil and from Satan?
Yeah, because he would be the author of evil.
Okay. All right. Well, did somebody have their hand? I thought I saw a hand. Okay. Well, according to the scriptures, We don't know where thoughts come from. No one knows. They're like the wind. They're just coming and going. We do not know. And if you wake up, you will see that you don't know where they come from. They're just there. And the answers that you guys have given about where they come from is you're talking about what, thoughts are, how they are, they are evil and all that, but you're not saying where they come from. You don't know where they're coming from. They're just like the wind. You can't see them coming. You don't know which way they go once you're rid of them. Have you noticed that? Anybody ever noticed that? I can't hear you. You don't know if they're coming from the north or the east or the west, or they're coming from up and down. And according to the scriptures, we don't know where thoughts come from. But we like to think that we do because, you want to feel like you're in control. Because if you knew where they were coming from, maybe you'd turn to the other direction and they won't get you. Let's say they're coming from the east. You go west and you avoid them.
We do know where they come from.
Where do they come from?
According to Scripture, God says that your thoughts are not my thoughts.
Right.
By process of elimination, you can pretty much figure it out.
But he's right that our thoughts are not his thoughts. Our thoughts are not our own thoughts. But that doesn't tell us where they're coming from. The scripture says that we don't know where they come from. And when you become aware, when you become conscious, when you walk in the light, you don't know where they're coming from. You just see it before it can overtake you.
Well, if you're making that point, that's true. I don't know where the Holy Spirit comes from either.
Well, we're talking about thought right now. Let's just hold on to this one. I want you to clearly see that everything you said about where they're coming from is all made up. It's a desire to know, to feel like you know the answer. But you really don't know where they're coming from. Yes?
If the thought is coming from God, that excludes the devil.
Right.
To me, God give you
But you don't get thoughts from God.
Well, the devil's not there.
Right. But you still don't know where they're coming from.
Sure.
Yes, baby. You had your hand?
Yeah, but you do know, you do see that the source is evil, right? From the thoughts?
No.
You don't?
You don't even know when thoughts are evil or good.
Really?
Right. He allows you to see that when you're touching. Because a lot of people confuse. Just think about some of the things that, and I don't know what you do, and I don't want to talk, but just think some of the things you do now that are coming from your thought, and they seem to be good. Like when you correct people or you do something. Don't they seem to be good at the time?
No, I'm not saying.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not putting on the test. You don't know when they're good or evil unless he allows you to see.
Right, I agree. But that when you see that, you do see that it's from an evil source. You're not thinking to yourself, oh, this is an evil thought, this is, that. But you just see it. You naturally see it.
I know, but he gives us the ability to see right from wrong. But the question is, you still don't know where the thoughts are coming from.
Right, maybe that's like for me to say, oh, they come from hell.
But you said that.
Right, I know, but maybe it's like spirits that are floating around projecting thoughts. I think that's...
Is it hard to admit you don't know where they're coming from?
Yeah, I can't say...
Your point.
I'm sorry?
Isn't he proving your point right now?
No, what I'm saying is, I think that is inaccurate for me just to say, yeah, they're coming from hell, because maybe the actual...
You're thinking that is inaccurate?
Yeah.
But you said that they were.
No, I'm saying I don't know, Jesse, but what I'm saying is...
You didn't say you didn't know, boy.
I know.
You agree with Sherry, and you're explaining more.
I know. I'm not denying what I said.
Oh, what are you saying now? Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
I'm saying that I think that was wrong for me just to say, yeah, hell, because I really don't know.
But why didn't you say that? You thought you knew before.
Right, because I see that.
And let me say that the reason I'm not letting you get away with this because this shouldn't be a guessing game. You got to know that you know that you know, and God wants you to know that you know that you know, so you're protected.
Right.
Really, but it's so easy to pick up stuff with words and with ego that we think that we know. That's why I said it's amazing all the feedback I've gotten back just this morning. It allows me to know how dumb we really are, but we think we're smart. We'll grab hold to words and apply it to everything. And even the Adam and Eve syndrome did happen. That's true what she said. So it looked like, oh, well, that's where thoughts are coming from. But God even tell us, if you read the Bible, you would know, he said that we don't know where thoughts are coming from. And when you truly wake up, you're going to see that you don't see where they're coming from. You just see them when they're about to attack you.
You-
you know.
Let me finish my point real quick. I agree with that, and so I was just saying, I think that.
But why do you agree with that? I could be wrong.
Well, because I do see that the source is evil. I don't know if it's.
But we didn't ask about the source. She asked, where do they come from?
Oh, okay. Well, but, okay. But I'm saying, I mean, you can see.
You're him and harm rather than just saying, yeah, you're right.
I did, I said, I think that was wrong for me just to say, oh yeah, they're coming from hell.
But I don't want you to say it's wrong just because I said it. If you can't
No.
see that it's wrong.
No, but I know that the source is evil, so whether if that source is in the other world or if it's floating around us, constantly projecting us, I don't know that. But I know that the source is not good, and I know it's not.
She didn't ask about the source. She said, where do thoughts come from? I was
Isn't that the
thinking,
same thing?
where do, no.
I mean, the source.
She didn't say who created the thoughts, what source is making them happen. Where do they come
Well,
from?
where they come from?
And if you could, yeah.
I mean, isn't that the same, where they're coming from, the source? I mean, I think that's the same thing.
You do? You think it's the same thing?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, isn't it?
I don't see it as the same. Yes, sir.
Do we even know that stuff is evil?
Not
I mean,
unless
maybe
we can see it.
like a murder, and we kind of know that, oh my God, that's horrible.
Let me give you,
There's,
let me give you something that I want to, well, yeah, you're going to say yes to this.
I won't.
Yeah. I want to give an example of evil that doesn't appear to be evil. It will to you now that you're aware. I counsel with a family, and one of the parents taught the kids how to do physically well in their lives. And so now they're doing very well, they're living their lives, but they don't give them enough credit for it. You know, the parents were complaining, you don't say thank you enough. You don't get me involved in your life. I don't hear, you don't appreciate what I'm saying, right? And the kid was like, why do I have to say that all the time? I do what I see to do for you. I have said it. I don't need to say it all the time. But the parent felt holy in what they were saying, angry about it and everything. And I said, you are evil. That's evil to do something for someone and then get mad because they don't give you the gratitude that you think you should get. That's evil, but to the average person, that doesn't appear to be evil. That people like, yeah, that parent is right. The kid should say thank you. You know, they should get involved. But they did it out of a selfish motive. They raised these kids in that manner, expecting to be glorified for it later. And so, but they don't see that as evil. That's evil. That's why they're mad about it. That's why they're giving the kids a hard time, creating a lot of problems for them because now the kids feel like they can't do enough. You know, it's all evil. You have to step away from your thoughts in order to recognize evil. It's evil to help your kids, not all the time, but most of the time it's evil to help your kids out of a financial situation. But unless you are separate from that, you don't see it as evil. You don't see you're creating more problems for them. You know what I mean? You know, I read a story the other day, and this author was saying that he was talking to people about, you know, starting businesses. And one person said, well, I can't start a business because I don't have the capital. I don't have the money to do it. And my mother needs to loan me some money to do it. And they said, well, your mother should not loan you the money to do it because if your mother loans you the money, you're creating two businesses at one time. You're creating a beggar and you're creating a mother who has to set up business to give you money all the time. Because you didn't start from the bottom, you didn't discover what was in yourself, you relied on something externally to get you motivated. And that's what keeps you motivated. So now mama has to give you money all the time. That's evil to do that, but we don't see it as evil. Oh, I'm a parent, my child wants to do something, so I should do it. Have you noticed that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, you want to still try to clear up yourself so you look good?
No.
Are you done?
Yeah.
What do you realize from it?
I wasn't saying that to look good.
No, I'm just
I think I was wrong to just say hell, but the source is from evil, and that's, I think, I didn't say it right, that was wrong, but I mean, it just seems like you seem to be assuming that what I'm seeing is from my thoughts were.
I'm not assuming anything about you. We're just having fun, fellowship, and see your mind tell you I'm assuming.
Well, because
my job is to put the heat on you,
Right.
so you think.
Okay.
I'm not assuming anything. I don't have time to assume anything.
But-
I got enough going on in my own life.
All right, but after.
So the devil tell you he's assuming. Now you got me looking bad. Let me clean up myself because he's assuming.
No, but Jesse, after I said my thing, it's like, well, now I realize how dumb we really are. I mean, it seemed.
But I said dumb with Pat. You're not dumb. Pat dumb. Remember, the dumbness came after Pat.
But it just, all right.
Now you feel better?
No, it just.
Do you feel better now that I didn't say, and I deliberately not said dumb after you because I knew you were going to think I thought you were dumb. But I know Pat can handle me knowing that he's dumb.
I do think sometimes.
I mean,
Assuming I'm dumb.
right. You don't like knowing that you're dumb?
No, that's fine. That really.
But you just
because
said I made it assume that you were dumb.
Because it did seem like sometimes you maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like sometimes when something is said, you will believe, or you may think that it's coming from their thoughts, and it may not. It may not be. I mean, sometimes it is, I know, but sometimes.
Does it bother you? Let's say what you're saying is true. Does that bother you?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
It doesn't bother you for me to think that he's thinking that this is from my thoughts?
No.
It doesn't bother you at all?
No, but I want to, no, it's fine.
It doesn't bother you though?
No.
It never bothers you?
No, it doesn't bother me, but I feel like I want to say something about it.
Why do you want to say something if it doesn't bother you?
If it's not accurate, I want to,
But you're not bothered by it at all?
No.
But you want to say something?
Yeah.
And why do you want to say something about it? You're assuming that I'm thinking that it's from your thoughts, and you feel like that's what I'm thinking, so you got to be feeling something about it.
No, I just and when Martin spoke, I thought he made a real good point, and then you said that, I think you said that again, like the dummy thing, and
With Martin?
Yeah, after he had said his thing, and it made sense to me what he said, and I thought you weren't. I don't know if it was that you were assuming, but it seemed like you weren't. You didn't quite get what he was saying about the good and the bad. It seemed like you missed.
But that wasn't the question. I didn't ask him about the good and the bad. I asked where did it come from,
Right.
and he's giving me some answer to about good and evil. It's in your head,
Right.
And that was dumb because that's not true. I mean, it's true what he said about evil, but that wasn't the question.
Oh, it's.
And he's putting, I want him to realize he's putting every answer with everything. It's best to say I don't know if you don't know.
Oh,
But no, most people don't like thinking that they don't know. They can't accept they don't know. It's not good for your ego to accept that you don't know. It might die if you accept you don't know. And the ego doesn't want to die, so it's gonna look inside and pick up some stuff you've learned and associate it with that. It's like driving down the road and you ask a person for direction. And rather than them saying, I don't know, they'll send you the wrong way. Go down yonder and make a left at the light. And they send you 20 miles out of your way. And you have that quick moment too where you could say, I don't know. But the ego will make you give out a direction.
But
well, I think if you, rather than just say, I don't know, sir, I don't want to send you the wrong way. It'll say, well, I think if you go down yonder. Because the ego doesn't want to be empty from its truth. It want to feel powerful. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that, Fabian?
No, I see that definitely. But I thought he was making a valid point. I thought you didn't quite see what he was saying. Where did the thoughts play as good and evil?
But you thought wrong, though.
But
because I saw his point, but it didn't apply to the question.
Oh, it didn't apply to. Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I understand that, but you didn't say that. You just kind of. I thought you didn't see quite what he was saying.
But isn't that you and not him?
Yeah, I saw what he was saying. You were wrong with the thoughts. I saw what he was saying, but it didn't apply to the question. The question is, the sister want to know, where do thoughts come from?
Right.
He was telling me about evil.
Right.
And she didn't ask what is evil.
Okay.
And so you stand there limiting your thoughts, thinking, I'm thinking something I'm not thinking.
Well, All right. I mean, I still think he made a valid point. I thought you didn't quite see what you're saying, but what you're saying is it didn't apply to the question. You didn't say that. I think you could have said that. But Martin, that's a good point, but
I didn't want to say it. It didn't come to me to say that. It come to me to say he's dumb.
Yeah, but it made it sound like his point was dumb and his point was valid.
No, he's dumb in the way he answered that question.
All right.
And he doesn't have an issue with it. Why are you feeling his pain?
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I think...
Should you be feeling his pain?
No, I'm not feeling his pain. I just...
You notice how Pat tried to cover up, well, why you gonna use the dumb word right after my statement? And we moved on. So you felt for him, right?
No, I just thought that, you weren't... No, I really thought you weren't getting his point. That's why I brought it up.
All right. But I got his point.
All right.
But his point didn't answer the question.
All right. Then I was wrong.
Didn't apply.
Do you see the point, though?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I see. I see it.
What do you see?
It didn't apply to... It didn't apply directly to what the question was. So in that, you were saying that I took it as you weren't seeing what he was saying. It was really valid what he was saying, but I didn't understand that it wasn't directly to the question.
No, he didn't answer her question at all.
Yeah,
he told her about evil. She didn't ask about evil. She said, where do thoughts come from?
Right. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Is that real clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize she was asking that in that specific content, because I've had that insight before where I go, I wish I could see what my thought will be 10 minutes from now.
Right.
Or, to jump ahead and see the thought stream.
Yeah.
Actually get a vision and see a thought stream coming in. Like the one prophet saw the angels going up and down into heaven through this ladder.
Yeah.
Called Jacob's ladder. And I thought that'd be interesting to be able to see in the future what a thought would be at a certain period of time, like in the future or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the thought factory is. I've never
That's
seen
right.
it. And I haven't seen the thought stream.
That's right.
This tether that seems to be attached to our heads where thoughts feed in.
You really don't know where they come from.
Right.
That is reality. Because like I said, if you saw them coming from the east, you'd turn to the west, right? If they were coming from above, you'd dodge, you'd duck.
Yeah.
But when you see them, they're already there. And when you're unconscious, you don't even see them coming. Even when they approach you, they've already overtaken you. Because we don't know where they come from. If you read the Bible, you would know that part at least. And that's one thing I want to talk to you guys about too, because last Sunday was a disgrace.
Disgrace?
I mean, it was, I hope you get a chance to go back and take a look at last Sunday meeting. People do not read the Bible and they think they're getting it, oh, I just get it from my heart. I just get it from my conscience. You need to read the scriptures too. God put them there so you can read it. It's like me writing you a letter, you don't read my letter. Oh, I'll just follow my heart with this letter. That's dumb. Oh, I can't use that word again, right? God said we're dumb. We are dumb. We really are not smart people. Now, I know we like to think that we are smart, but we're not. We don't know anything. And this little worldly knowledge that we have is nothing. This little 2 + 2 is nothing. We really are a dumb people. That's why we must be born again. And there's a greater intellect than what we can ever experience unless you're born again. Really, we don't know nothing. And everybody like to think they know something. As soon as you can see that you don't know anything, that's when you start to know. It's okay to be dumb. I tell my uncle all the time. He's like, oh, you're something else. I'm like, no, I'm nothing, Unc. Don't say that about yourself. You don't say you're nothing. But that's reality, and I'm okay with that. I don't need a pill now because I see I'm nothing. People spend their life trying to build up. We go to psychiatrists and pay $200 or $300 an hour so they can tell us we are something. And that's dumb. And as a matter of fact, it says that if you want to be smart, you got to know that you're dumb. It is a relief to not have to worry about where these thoughts are coming from. Just think about you living your life not having to worry about that. Then you find something else to worry about. But it's a relief not to have to worry. I'm glad to see that I don't know where they're coming from and I don't have to try to figure it out. And I'm blessed to see them before they can overtake me. You know, I don't have to worry about that. Yes, ma'am.
Because it was a relief to me that knowing that the devil was, the thoughts were from the devil, that was a relief for me. Now I'm like wondering, now you say you don't know where your thoughts, the Bible says you don't know where they come from.
Right.
But my son was asking me about the devil and stuff.
Who?
My son.
Okay.
And he was asking me about God. You know, he already knows we can't see God, but God's a part of us. He's like a spirit in us. And then he was asking me about the devil, like, where is the devil? We can't see him too. And it got me thinking, like, I told him I didn't know, but it got me thinking, like, maybe there's a devil spirit in us too. And like, sometimes, like, most of the time the devil spirit shine, and then sometimes when you're not in your thoughts and stuff, the God spirit shines.
You know, I've been asked that about by kids, you know, the difference between the two. And what I tell them is something that they can easily understand. When you become mad at someone about something, when you try to make people do what you want or they don't, you get mad about it, or you're mad at your parent, that's the devil.
Yeah,
but when you take it and you let it go, it's not that important to you, then God is with you. And they can really relate to that. I was talking to my grandkids this weekend about their parents, and I said that, you know what, don't let it be that important, because being mad about it is of the devil, and you're going to become like them. They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense then. I said, let it just pass. You know, it's not a big deal. Because you notice that when people are mad, their will have kicked in because they're not getting what they want, and that's evil. You should, when you are born again, you never want to impose yourself upon another person. You don't get mad because they don't want to do it. You know, you don't get mad because they don't agree with you. That's evil. That's your will trying to impose it upon other people. That's why you're mad about it, because you can't have it your way. Even God doesn't force himself upon us. He'll let us end up on Skid Row before he get mad about it. You just sit there and drink his cafe mocha and say, okay, fine. It's up to you. I'll make it the way possible. You can accept it. But willful people, evil people, are upset when you don't do what they want. Even parents with their kids. The kid don't do what they want, they knock them out, yell at them, they force them, they put guilt on them because they're willing them to do what they want them to do. And now they're creating another little spirit in their image. The kids become like them, and that's evil. That's ego. And the ego of a person, man or woman, is the devil. And so that's a way to know if you are of God or not. Notice if you get mad because things are not going your way. You know, somebody's late and you're mad about it. If they're not on time, leave them. Go on. You don't have to wait for them. Or call, if you don't have a car, call somebody else to pick you up. You can't. It's evil people playing God that impose their will upon others. That's how you can know. Because if you have that will, you're going to get mad at other people when they don't do it your way. Or mad at yourself when it doesn't go the way you think it should go. Have you noticed that? All that is the nature of the devil. It's another spirit that's made a home inside of you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like the girls last week, they were asking me questions like, where is God? Is he looking at you? Why can't you see him and stuff like that? What do you say to them then?
I'll tell them
what he looks like and where is he?
Tell them to go sit down and stop asking them questions. They tell them it's surely not with you and all these questions. God is within them. He's love. He doesn't get mad at folks. Speaking a language that they can understand. Keep it really simple. And as they mature, they'll become better. They understand more. But keep it simple. Don't give this great holy answer that people try to give.
Because see, like my son got it, like it's a spirit inside of you, and he said like he understand that. Then he came back for me with something like I didn't know.
Yeah.
About it. So
that's right.
It seems like they know more.
They know more than you.
Yeah.
They really do. That's why you keep it simple so that they can understand it. And they'll come back with some more feedback, and then you realize, I better go read the Bible or something because I'm lost here. I'll come back to you with that answer. I want to go back to your question about, so did that help, knowing that you don't know where thoughts come from? Yes, sir.
I got one question. Some of this seems kind of contradictory to me. What is the point of teaching that thoughts are from the devil to begin with? I mean, all thoughts are evil. Which I agree with Stephanie on this, is that helped me in a certain way when you kind of look at that and see where they're coming from. It's kind of like when you get certain things, you kind of know where the source is, so you're not, you know what they are.
Right. And you agree with that too, Perry? You bow your head?
Oh,
But see, you know the source, but you don't know where they come from.
Right, but I don't understand this distinction of, you mean I don't know the last location they were in before they bounced off to me? I know where they started from, because I know they're not of God. They're not of peace. They're a thought that came in, and they're not direct knowledge from God. They're some other thing. It's a thought. I know that. I can see that. So I know that they're not coming from God. So I know they're coming from an evil source. So if I know the source, why do I need to know the last location the thought was bouncing off before it hit
I don't
me?
think he mean location. Also, you don't know, let me ask you this, do you still get angry at your thoughts? By way of thoughts?
Yes.
You still get angry. But see, you don't know yet then that they're not from God. You believe it, you had some taste of it, but you don't know that they're not from God, because if you truly knew they were not from God, you would never get angry at them or by way of them. You would never be influenced by them.
Well, let's take that as a truth then. And let's assume that's true, that they're not from God. Then we can agree that the source is not from God of a thought.
But the question wasn't who is the source of it.
Right.
She asked where did they come from.
I'm not sure, what does it matter what the distinction is? We know where they came
I
from.
don't know. It came up once before in the Bible. That's why God made it clear in the Bible that we don't know where they come from. They come like the wind. You know how you can't see the direction of the wind? You can't see it, just come and goes. Thoughts are the same way.
But we agree they're not from God.
You say you didn't know.
Well, even if I don't personally, let's say,
Right.
I'll ask you then, if I don't,
We agree that your thoughts are not of God.
or from God.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess it mean the same thing.
So we know they're evil.
Right.
So if we know
You
they're,
know it if you could see that they're evil. Some people think thoughts are good too.
but let's assume for this discussion that we know they're evil,
Right.
from evil. I guess I'm not getting the importance of knowing where they hit me from.
You never wonder where they come from?
Not really, because I know where they, for the most part, I know where they originated, so it doesn't really matter.
I used to wonder where they come from too. Where do thoughts come from? You know, where are they
I'm just
from?
not getting this right, but
Yeah.
I don't see the importance of knowing where they last were before they hit me. I mean,
Right.
if I know they came originally from,
Well, then hold on to what you have. If what you've heard makes you feel good, stay with it.
well,
I mean, what I mean by feel good, if you're okay with that, but for those who do want to know where they come from,
well,
no one knows.
one other thing on this, say, it's about knowing we don't know anything.
Right.
There's some things we do know. We do know certain things that we see, that this is this. And in fact, if you don't know certain thing, if you don't know anything,
You're making it, I want everybody to hear this.
but
Say it a little
listen,
louder because I want people to hear what you're saying.
we do know certain things, and I believe we can question ourselves too much to the fact of even the things we know, we start to doubt. I'm in more trouble when I go overboard in terms of questioning what I already know. It's like almost like overly questioning. It's like the
Right.
thoughts start working on you, and pretty soon things that you're comfortable with, it's like a way of losing confidence where all of a sudden you don't know anything and you can't even function.
Yes, sir. How many people agree with that? I agree with that. Yeah, you guys agree, right?
For the most part.
Don't be scared. It's not a test.
Feels like one.
It feels like a test. How many people agree with what Patrick just said? All right, baby, you raise your hand again, and I'm going to be thinking.
You want them to step forward and then just drop the plank.
Right. Now, how many people agree with that? Okay. You don't agree with him? Oh, you put that hand up. Why do you agree?
Because if you start to question everything,
Yeah.
and it can drive you crazy.
Yes, ma'am. Let me just say this for time's sake. You should never, ever, ever, but never question what you think you know. Never. You should never question what you know. Because what applies to this moment does not necessarily apply to the very next moment. And it will make you doubt yourself. You got to live moment to moment. And don't worry about what you know. See how it just deal with this moment, with this truth. Let it go. Never, ever, and that's what a lot of people are doing, Patrick. They're getting into what they're learning about truth. They learned about the fall. They learned about the devil. They learned about this, and they're applying it to everything. And if they question it, they start to doubt it. They try to build on it. Never, ever do that. Walk in the light. You don't have to question anything.
But yet there's a certainty in the moment, though. Like, there's a certain certainty of action that, when you move on something, it's certainty in the moment of knowing.
It's without question. There's a certainty in the moment that is without question, and it's not concerned about the next moment.
Right, and if you had
But if you have questions in that moment, you're going to apply it to the next moment, and then if it doesn't work, then you're going to doubt that you knew the truth.
Right, there's like an evil questioning in the moment that if you were certain about something, there's like this thought questioning that will cause you to not take the action that, like, let's say a hero would take the action of just doing.
Right.
You would have that something in the moment, you'd kind of hitch back and you wouldn't make the action in that split second where you have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, I guess. I do know what you're saying, but that's why I'm saying never ever question in the moment.
Right, okay.
Don't question what you know.
Right.
Just see and do. If you question, then you're going to lose sight.
But you see how people can be led to believe that questioning everything can lead them to question even in the moment, which destroy them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I understand that. Never ever question. Walk in the light. He doesn't say walk in questions. He said walk in the light and I'll be with you. Don't do it, because you will start to question and apply all your truth to everything else. And it's all wrong. We are dumb. We don't know what we know until He allows us to see and do. We are dumb. Whether you like it or not, I know egos don't want to be dumb because we think we can, I am dumb and I'm okay with it. I'm glad knowing it. All the stress is gone now. He's given me the ability to wait and see. Because I know I don't know. I can't apply this moment to the next moment. I can't apply this truth to the next issue because it may not require the same thing. It may not be true in the next moment. Isn't that something? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I wanted to say, so you're saying basically since Pat was comfortable not knowing where thoughts come from, he could engage in the conversation but still stay secure with not caring where they come from?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's right. And you and I are friends, right? I can use you as an example, right?
Yeah, of course.
You sure?
Yeah.
You gonna be all right with me tomorrow in the studio? You won't mess up the show?
You gonna ask him that question when you're done?
No, I just saw it a little different.
The reason Fabian felt uncomfortable and stuff like that because he's not sure about it, and any information come along would shake up that a little bit, and so he felt Martin pain. Martin didn't feel any pain about being dumb, and he felt like, well, if Martin is dumb, then I must be dumb, and I'm not dumb because I can see. The devil just plays with all that stuff. But if you're open to just discover, just live your life based on now, you don't feel all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But if you, what?
Just real quick, I do see, clearly that the thoughts are evil, and that's real clear to me. That's not from my head, and that's changed my whole life because all those thoughts misled my whole life and ruined my life. So,
but I don't want you to even hold on to thoughts of evil either.
I know.
Because what's going to happen is if you hold on to thoughts of evil, then you're not going to be able to distinguish which thoughts are thoughts and if they're evil or not. You can get that concept in your mind too. And so every little thing you think this is evil. Because now you've learned about thoughts being evil. You see the danger in that?
Yeah, yes.
You do? Mm-hmm. And so you're constantly saying thoughts are evil, thoughts are evil. I don't think our thoughts are evil. And you may be missing the mark by thinking that.
Well,
there you go.
That's possible. That's possible. Yeah. I don't believe I am, but I could see what you're saying.
We should not hold on to this stuff. Don't hold on to knowledge. Let it go, and understanding will come and dwell inside of you. It will. But if you hold on to knowledge, is this helping a little bit today?
Yeah.
You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, next Sunday, if God is willing and the creek don't rise, I want to repudiate you guys for not reading the Bible. I was going to do it today, but this was more important. I thought last Sunday was bad. I even had the Bible go-to guy was traveling around and heard the message, and the Bible go-to guy even called me up and said, "Hey, last Sunday was a mess. The folks don't know, they don't read the Bible, and something's wrong with that." I don't know what kind of trauma you guys have gone through about the Bible, but you need to hurry up and overcome it. All right, but we'll talk about that next Sunday. I don't think. I want to answer your question about thoughts. Did this help, or do I need to come back to you?
It helped a little bit.
You know how when you pray, seeing don't talk. Oh, here it is. God's consciousness does not talk to you. It doesn't use words. It's a voiceless voice. It doesn't have a voice. And everything else that you're hearing in your head, whether it sounds like good thoughts or whatever thoughts, are straight out of hell. It's from your father, the devil. He said, "My children will know my voice," and his voice is a voiceless voice. It's annoying. It allows you to just clearly see, and it separates you from this voice in your head that's always talking to you. And he allows you to see things. And it's almost like he causes you to remember the things that you've forgotten without having to use words with it. His voice is not a voice that you can hear. It's a voice that you see by, but not hear by. And yet seeing is hearing. Does that help a little bit? Don't look at me like you're crazy. I don't have all that time. Okay, we'll pick up on it. You're a tough cookie, but I like tough cookies. All right? And I like the fact that you asked such a perfect question. I'm going to hold on to these notes so next Sunday if I need to pick up on it, I will. But just know that the voice in your head is not of God. His voice is a quiet, still, voiceless voice. It doesn't sound like mama. It doesn't sound like daddy. It doesn't sound like yours because there are no words to it. All right? So hang on to that for this week. All right? You know, we are out of time, and I don't know what to say to you. I want to invite you to go and get a copy of Be Still and Know, so you can learn to sit still so God can cause you to see. All right? You got to overcome the darkness by entering into the light. And give me a call, 800-411-BOND. Thank you. Thank you, guys.